Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Victory to Ram. So my lecture will be in two parts. First, philosophy. There has to be some philosophy. Then we will get into the Leela. If you're ready to proceed, please say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, there are some nice verses about this name, Rama. Everybody say. Rama. So, Ramante yogino nante satyanande chid atmani iti Rama padena sao parang brahma abhidiyate. Please repeat. The supreme absolute truth is called Rama. Because the transcendentalists take pleasure in the unlimited true pleasure of spiritual existence. So here's one understanding of this name Rama. Unlimited true pleasure. Who doesn't like that word? Now we have this other verse. This is taken from it is found in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sarhasya Nama Bistulyang Rama Nama Varanane. Now this verse is spoken to us by Lord Shiva, and he is addressing his wife Durga. Last Sunday I was in a different temple and I spoke about Durga Mata. So here 1 week later, please repeat, O Varanana. So that word means lovely faced woman. So Durga Mata is lovely faced, but for the demons, not so much. O Varanana, I chant the holy name, Rama, 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 and thus enjoy this beautiful sound. This holy name of Lord Ram is equal to 1,000 holy names of Lord Vishnu. So now you get some idea what we are chanting in this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we say Rama how many times? 1, 2, 4 times. And each Rama is the same as chanting the Vishnu Sahasranam. So let's do it again. Rama. Rama, Rama. Okay, so that's enough philosophy, okay? Because there's some nice. There are 2 sections from the Ramayana that I would like to narrate to you. I'll try to make it as nice as possible, if this behaves. Okay, so this is the chapter is called The Final Battle. And this scene is called Rama Stuns Ravana. Rama seized his bow. A terrible anger took hold of him. Lakshman had spoken well. The time for the arrogant demon's destruction had now arrived. As Ram looked around, he saw Ravana seated aboard his golden chariot. Having rested, the demon was again rushing at Ram, just as the malefic planet Rahu rushes towards the sun. From where he stood, Lord Ram immediately shot a steady stream of arrows that shone like fire. They rained down upon the demon, who in turn loosened torrents of shafts that hissed like serpents as they flew at Lord Ram. From the sky, the gods observed the combat. Seeing Ram standing upon the ground, Indra desired to assist him. He summoned Matali, his chariot driver, and asked him to fetch his chariot. And within a moment, Indra's radiant chariot appeared, drawn by its 100 steeds. Indra ordered Matali to take it to Ram, and the chariot driver at once descended onto the battlefield next to our prince. And with folded palms, he respectfully addressed Ram. O Raghava, here is my lord Indra's chariot. Here is also his mighty bow and infallible weapons, as well as his invincible golden armor. Please use all of these to attain victory over Ravana, who is the enemy of the gods. I shall act as your chariot driver. Ram gazed with amazement at the wonderful vehicle. It was bedecked with glowing gems and wreaths of celestial flowers. A tall pole of cat's eye stood in its center, bearing a brilliant golden flag standard. The chariot was suspended a bow length above the ground, and a crystal staircase came down to Rama's feet. He circumambulated the chariot and then climbed aboard. Prince Ram quickly donned Indra's armor and took up his bow and celestial arrows. As he stood upon that divine chariot, he looked just like the sun illuminating all quarters. At Matali's command, the heavenly steeds surged forward, and the chariot moved off with a rumbling sound filling the earth and sky. Ravana, realizing that Ram was being assisted by his mortal enemy Indra, became even more enraged. He fired a celestial missile which unleashed hundreds of thousands of dreadful-looking serpents with their wide open mouths vomiting fire. Writhing and hissing, they came from all sides, speeding towards Ram. I wish this was a 3D movie. It would be wonderful. Anybody in Hollywood listening? Here is your next 3D blockbuster. As the venomous snakes descended upon him, Ram at once invoked a weapon presided over by Garuda. A shower of arrows shot from his bow, turning as they flew into golden eagles with fierce talons and sharply curved beaks. The mystical eagles intercepted and destroyed all of Ravana's serpents. The demon roared furiously. He struck Matali and all of his steeds with the forcible torrents of shafts and with golden steel heads. The Rakshasa then sent a crescent-headed arrow which tore down the chariot's golden flag standard. Ravana followed this with countless other straight-flying arrows that struck Ram on every part of his body. Within seconds, Indra's great chariot was completely covered by Ravana's arrows, so that no part of it was visible. With his 10 heads and massive bow, Ravana stood in his own chariot, looking like the Mainaka mountain arisen from the ocean. Observing the demon overwhelming Ram with his arrows, gods and rishis felt despondent. The monkeys became fearful and observed grim-looking omens. The sun became dim and the sea tossed with waves that seemed to rise up to the sky. Jackals howled, ghosts and spooks darted about on the battlefield. So intense was Ravana's assault that Ram was unable to lift his bow and fit his arrows. Ram's eyes turned crimson with rage. He began to think of the destruction of the entire Rakshasa race. With great expertise, Matali drove the chariot upwards and away from the hail of Ravana's arrows. It burst forth like the sun emerging from a cloud. The gods showered blessings upon Ram, while Daityas and Danavas uttered benedictions upon Ravana. And when the king of the Rakshasas saw his adversary Ram again stationed before him, Ravana took up a fearful-looking dart. The terrific weapon had spikes resembling mountain peaks. It had a flaming point glowing with a brilliance that could not be looked upon. That dart was most dear to Ravana and had been carefully kept and worshipped by him, reserving it for a time when he faced such a deadly enemy. It was irresistible to gods and demons alike. Ravana raised it with his serpent-like arm and roared with full force. The earth shook and mountains trembled, sending their lions and elephants fleeing in fear. Looking at Ram, the Rakshasa thundered. So now I have to get into the character of Ravana. This dart, powerful like a thunderbolt, will now take your life. Hurled by me, it will strike both you and your brother, leveling you with all the Rakshasas you have slain. Guard yourself now if you can. The demon at once threw the dart. It flashed through the air, covered by a circle of lightning and emitting a deafening scream. Ram instantly sent 100 arrows at the dart, but they were deflected and fell useless to the ground. But without losing a moment, Ram took up Indra's celestial javelin, forcefully hurling it, and it flew like a blazing meteor straight at the dart. Struck by the divine lance, Ravana's weapon was split apart and dropped to the earth. Rama-vijaya-utsava. The javelin, giving off a delightful sound from the many bells tied around it, again returned to Indra's chariot. Ram immediately followed that astonishing feat by sending a fierce volley of arrows at the demon. They struck Ravana in all of his limbs and pierced his 10 heads. The demon blazed with anger and replied with an equal number of his own arrows. But Ram intercepted Ravana's arrows while simultaneously continuing to strike him. The Rakshasa then released an even greater number of shafts, which penetrated Ram's defense and pierced through his armor. With blood shining on his breast, Ram looked like a great Kinshuka tree in full blossom. Neither opponent could easily see the other, so great was the number of arrows filling the air. Ram pulled clear of Ravana's attack and laughed heartily, rebuking the demon. So now I'm Ram in this one-man drama. O Rakshasa, you are proud of your strength, but it will not save you now. Indeed, since you stole away my consort while I was not present, you cannot be considered heroic. You are a shameless coward, given over to vanity alone, vaunting yourself as a hero. Had you tried to take Sita from my presence, you would not be alive today. By good fortune, I now see Time himself on this very battlefield. Prepare to receive the results of your despicable and evil acts, O vile one. Carnivorous birds and beasts will soon feast upon your flesh and blood. What do you think of Ram's talking, huh? Lord Ramachandra ki! With redoubled strength, Ram sent wave upon wave of arrows straight at Ravana. The prince felt increased enthusiasm for the fight. He invoked all the celestial missiles, and they immediately appeared before him on the battlefield. In great joy, Ram fired the weapons at the demon one after another. He recited incantations with full concentration, releasing his arrows. Charged with mystic power of divine astras, the arrows tore into Ravana and sent him reeling. As Ravana staggered about on his chariot, he was showered with rocks and trees by the monkeys. The demon was reduced to a sorry plight, being unable to lift his bow or do anything in his defense. He sank down on the floor of his chariot, and seeing this, his chariot driver veered away from the fight and retreated. Ravana remained stunned for some time. Gradually returning to his senses, he saw that his chariot driver had taken